It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from BlueStone Brewing Company, and this is a bottle of their Red of Heaven. Yes, that's right, not Bread of Heaven, but Red of Heaven. This is an American red ale coming in at 4.2% ABV in a 500ml bottle. Without further ado, with the red bottle cap, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening, beer in the glass. Looks very good. I'm a big fan of this style of beer. Love the complex red malts, the darker malts in the beer. The combination then of American hops. Oh, it's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Fingers crossed anyway. Fingers crossed we got a good one here. Yeah, one finger whitehead, red amber coloured beer. Slightly hazy with good levels of slow moving carbonation. Nice tight head on the beer. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, it smells really good. It's got that kind of licorice, malty breadiness, licorice, spicy, peppery, tangerine, orange peel, a little bit of fleshy blood orange going on. I like the clash. I like the clash music, but I like the clash of the hops and the malt. That really kind of, they're two ends of the spectrum. The malt being biscuity, bready and sweet, and the hops being bitter and spicy and peppery and orange peel and fleshy blood orange like. So when you put those two combinations, sweetness of the malt, bitterness of the hops, when you get those to clash in the glass, it really does. It's a bit like sweet and sour sauce, sweet and sour chicken balls, you know, that sort of kind of sweet and sour flavour, which shouldn't be together, but it is, but it works. The same can be said for fantastic tasting beers like this. I've not tasted it yet, but I'm sure by the aroma it should be a good tasting beer. But it's that bittersweet, yeah, bittersweet kind of, I'm sure that's where the saying comes from. I'm sure beer gave bittersweet its terminology. On that note, let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, good. Nice toffee, biscuity malts coming through. It's got a nice drinkability to it, but at the same time, the complex malts are giving it a slightly sticky mouthfeel, more of a malty mouthfeel. So it's refreshing, but it's full body all at the same time. Nicely carbonated. Carbonation pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour. I like the breadiness, the biscuitiness of the beer. It's like walking through a... I should change this terminology up a little bit, but I like to use it because I just have vivid memories of walking through the French countryside and coming across villages after a couple of miles walk. And you could... Being French, everything was kind of artisan and homemade and freshly baked. So you get freshly baked baguettes wafting through the fields before you even hit the town. It's like you're leading yourself into the town with your nose by that freshly baked baguette. And you get that to a sense in this beer. You get that nice complex malt, biscuitiness, breadiness kind of coming through. I could be a bit boring and change that terminology to have to go shopping in Asda or Tesco and they so happen to have the ovens on and they were baking bread, but it wouldn't give off the same romance, would it, in the beer review? It would just be, I bought a pack of donuts because I was hungry because I could smell them baking bread. I like to use that French terminology because there's a bit of romance there. There's a bit of imagination there. You're not just going to a steel box to buy your bread. In terms of hops then, they have used American hops. They are giving off a grapefruit, orange peel, fleshy blood orange taste with a spicy, peppery kind of backbone. And that combination, that balance of the beer, that sweetness of the malt over here, bitterness of the hop over here, it's a very, very nicely balanced beer. A bit like a hang glider, nicely balanced, flying down through the valley. They're based... A bit burpy, pardon me. And again, and again. They're based in Pembrokeshire, in Wales. It's the smallest print of where the brewery is based I have ever seen in my life. I've got 20/20 vision. I'll show you. So here's the ingredients of the beer. Let's get it to focus. Here's the ingredients, and then if I roll it up slightly, you can see. Look at the address. It's tiny. Perhaps they're hiding from the taxman. If I was hiding from the taxman, I'd be putting the address really small on my bottle too. Just a bit of a joke there. Just a bit of a joke. I'm sure these lovely people from BlueStone, I'm sure they can take a joke. So, Red of Heaven, what does it mean? So, Bread of Heaven, this is a Welsh-themed rugby beer. I've left it to the very end to speak about the Welsh-themed rugby beer because it's a very niche product. You're only really going to get Welsh people really excited or interested in this beer. And I've said it before with the Boss Beers, and I'll say it again here. I don't review many Welsh beers, I should say. And the reason for that is because it's generally about dragons or rugby or daffodils or... And as much as I love my country, as much as I live here and love it, and I'm very passionate about being Welsh and loving daffodils and rugby and dragons, there's only 3 million people in this country who are kind of loving that and enjoying that. And I like to think that I'm an outward-looking person. Somebody who looks at the world and reviews stuff from all around the world, and you know, if I was to run a YouTube channel just focusing on Welsh products, it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. There's not enough people, and I've said this before, there's not enough people with the internet, never mind watching YouTube, for this channel to work. So it has to be an outward looking reviewing channel, you know. Richmond sausages, you know, that's a real outward looking UK based thing, isn't it? And then we have some pork scratching from the Philippines and some German beer and some Belgian beer and American IPA, and it has to be a world thing for this whole thing to work. Rating for this beer, I like it. I really do. I really do. Nice looking beer. As I rock it back and forth, you can see the carbonation chasing the head up the glass. Very, very nice looking beer. Good aroma. Lovely taste. I like that. I like that enough to give it an 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.